Yes, everyone, you know what time it is. It's your boy Jack here at the Irish Hotspur, and this is our predicted lineup for Tottenham's London derby against Chelsea this weekend. But before we get into it, don't forget to smash that like button and get your score predictions into those comments, people. But let's get this party going, everybody. Let's get it started. We're going to start with Spurs' predicted lineup, and with first, we're always going to be starting with Hugo Lloris in goals, everybody. Hugo. But with Hugo, no other one than Lloris. Didn't have much to do against Southampton. We probably might depend on him a bit more in this game, either to keep us in it with a big save, and we also might depend on him more in possession because Chelsea do like to press a bit high and like to win the ball high up the pitch. But after Hugo, we're going to stick with our right-sided center back of Christian Romero, everybody. Christian Romero looked absolutely fantastic against Southampton and made it look quite easy, if I'll be honest. He didn't even have too much to do, but just made it look very easy. Will likely face a much tougher assignment in the case of Sterling or maybe Mason Mount, and will probably depend on him a lot more in possession this match. He is someone that we do rely on when it comes to being able to build out the back and being able to play those passes, that maybe other center backs might not be daring enough, to play, is what you could say. But after Christian Romero, we're going to move into the center defense with Eric Dyer, everybody. He looked pretty good against Southampton defensively. He had a fantastic header to get us ahead in that match as well in the first half, getting us 2-1 lead with that beautiful header, almost a striker's finish, you could say. Will we need him to stay composed in this match? Absolutely, because I think, Eric Dyer, he offers that bit of composure. He offers that bit of, kind of solidity, not only maybe defensively, but I think he offers you more solidity probably in possession at times, and we're going to need him to prove me right when it comes to that coming into this game with how Chelsea like to defend. And then our left-sided center back is going to be Ben Davies, everybody. Ben Davies, his start versus Southampton definitely indicated that he'll likely start against Chelsea. His progressive ability versus Southampton and carrying the ball up the pitch, up that left flank, was absolutely vital, and it will also be vital in this Chelsea game, considering there will be moments when we might be deep in our own half, and we're going to need a center back to be brave on the ball, to be brave in possession. And Ben Davies, certainly on that left-sided center back role, is going to need to offer that. That's probably, part of the job description in that role that he's playing. But moving on, we're going to have our right wing back, and it is going to be Emerson Royale. Again, everybody, Emerson Royale, I thought personally had a pretty good game against Southampton. If not, I thought he probably defied expectations, you could say, at least, for a lot of, fans. And also as well, he could have got probably at least 3 assists. He had that 1 assist, of course, for Kulu. He almost had one with Kane. And then I guess if you counted an own goal, that could almost be an assist too. But definitely had a good performance, going forward. Defensively, he's always been dependable in these sort of games. He's always been kind of looked to, I think, in these bigger games, as that sort of defensive, fullback option. But, we're going to need him to prove us right yet again with that, because I think this is going to be a tough assignment for him. He's going to be coming up against the likes of Sterling, potentially Havertz, or Mason Mount. Regardless, it's not going to be easy. Then he's going to have a bombing wingback. It is going to be a tough game for Emerson. He's going to need to prove us right defensively as well as going forward, because he's going to need to build off of what he did the last game, going forward for sure. Then our other fullback is going to be probably Ryan Sessegnon. With Ryan Sessegnon, I thought he looked absolutely terrific that last match against Southampton. Kind of proved again, a lot of doubters wrong when it comes to, his ability in terms of finishing, the ball. But it seemed like, he was maybe finding himself in that Southampton game. There was something about him that suggested that this will be a very different season for him. So let's see if he can prove us right when it comes to that. He's also kind of similar to Emerson, been very much seen as a defensive, kind of solidity or a defensive solid option for these sort of games against these bigger, tougher sides. So hopefully he can prove us right when it comes to that. And then Højbjerg, everybody, I expect to be playing in this midfield. Again, maybe it's just a bit too soon for Basuma, maybe, and also with Skip, being out injured as well. He did not cover himself in glory with that goal that James Ward-Prowse was able to score. I thought, he could have done a bit better there, but he still played a brilliant pass to Emerson, which eventually led to that goal that Kulusevski scored. He also played a brilliant ball over the top to Sonny. We will depend on him, physically and defensively this match. But, last time we did come up against Chelsea, they sort of ran the midfield with those very technically gifted midfielders they have. And we're going to need Højbjerg to really step it up and also prove to people that, he can be able to, be that sort of reliable midfielder in big games like this that we do want to win. The other one is going to be Bentancur. When it comes to Bentancur, I feel like it's just someone you need in this kind of match, someone that's, you're desperate desperate for, because when Chelsea are pressing high up the pitch, he's going to be that bit of that composure, that bit of class that we're going to need, because, when you have midfielders, that are being pressed a bit with teams like Chelsea, you're going to need him to be able to receive the ball when it's a bit awkward, when it's a bit, in a tight area, or when there's really just no passes or anything on. He's going to need to find that time, be able to find that extra second to keep us, in possession, to keep the flow going. And I think Bentancur is going to be that man. He's going to be absolutely vital for us not getting too flustered, or at least, losing the ball too much with how Chelsea like to press us. So Bentancur, if we're able to break the lines, with his sort of possession and composure, I think we have a good chance of winning this game. Moving on to Kulusevski, Chelsea have yet to have the pleasure, or you could say the fear, of playing Kulusevski. I think he's going to have a terrific game this one, but he is going to be coming up against probably his toughest defensive assignments in the case of likely Marc Cucurella, who did have Kulusevski in his back pocket when he played against Brighton, and then as well, the likes of Koulibaly, who's a very, very good defender and will want to, prove, the Chelsea fans at home this time around that he is that good defender, and he will likely be coming up, against Kulusevski, which will be an interesting one, everybody. And then, of course, we have our winger in Son Heung-min, or Sonny as we call him. Sonny, I think this is going to be a big match for him. He hasn't scored against Chelsea in some time. I think it's been quite a few years, or at least more than a few games, than he scored against Chelsea. I mean, not many players have scored against Chelsea, let's be honest. It's plenty, that have struggled against them. He will be coming up against the likes of Azpilicueta and Reece James. I would say maybe an easier assignment than what Kulusevski has. Then again, Reece James is an unbelievable defender. He will be really hungry for this one, because Sonny didn't even score in that Southampton match, despite probably deserving to score, and he hasn't scored against Chelsea in some time, like we just said. But Kane is going to be, of course, our starting striker. It is going to be the same lineup that we predict from Southampton, and the reason being is because most of these players I thought played terrifically against Southampton, and then on top of that, there really have been no, indications that there is going to be some sort of, lineup shakeup, or that, maybe certain players that, are new to the squad or be given this chance in the Chelsea game. This is a big, big game. I think Conte might go with the players that he knows, and then in case things aren't going well enough, for us in the first half, then he can bring on the likes of Perisic, then he can bring on the likes of Basuma, Richarlison, and whatnot in order to change the game. But there you are, everybody. We're going to be going with a 3-4-3 for this one. In case you want to see how Chelsea will line up, this is how Chelsea, we anticipate them to go. They're going to be going with Edouard Mendy in goals, everybody. He has been, kind of their most consistent keeper used over the past 2 seasons. And then Cesar Azpilicueta, likely, headed to Barcelona, but staying there for the moment in time. Thiago Silva through the middle. Big one with Thiago Silva, I must say, actually, everybody, when it comes to him, is that you could make the argument that, he is someone that could maybe pull up an injury, pull up, some sort of muscle thing, at the end of the game. He seems to always have some sort of hamstring issue. Then we're going to be seeing the likes of, Koulibaly, apologies for the typo there, and then Reece James as the right wing back. So it is going to be a back three of Koulibaly, Thiago Silva, Cesar Azpilicueta, Marc Cucurella, who we anticipate to be playing on the left, and N'Golo Kanté through the middle alongside the likes of Jorginho. Marc Cucurella, I do anticipate to be starting in this one. They did go with Ben Chilwell. Will they go with him again? I really doubt it, especially considering how much they paid for Cucurella, and also the fact that Cucurella has played very well against Kulusevski in the past. And then we have Mason Mount at right wing, with likely Raheem Sterling playing on the left, maybe through the middle potentially, with Kai Havertz up top. So 3-4-3 against a 3-4-3. Let us know what you think of this tactical battle between Thomas Tuchel as well as Antonio Conte, everybody. Let me know if you feel like I got any, kind of the predictions wrong here. Maybe you think there could be a different lineup for Spurs. Maybe you think it's a different lineup for Chelsea. But as always, everybody, do smash that like button and do get your score predictions down below into those comments. But as always, come on, you Spurs. In Conte we trust, and I will be seeing ya.